Let's dive through a portal into one of history's darkest chapters, a time when an ancient city, once a beacon of faith and power, crumbled under the weight of siege warfare. Welcome back to Portals Through History. Today we're diving into the Siege of Jerusalem in 587 BC, under the iron fist of Babylonian King Nebuchadnezzar II. This wasn't just a military conquest. It was a prolonged nightmare of starvation, desperation, and human frailty that pushed people to the very brink of unimaginable acts. Stick around as we uncover the harrowing conditions inside those besieged walls and the tragic fate of Judah's last king.
It all began in 589 BC when King Zedekiah of Judah rebelled against his Babylonian overlords, sealing Jerusalem's doom. Nebuchadnezzar's forces encircled the city, cutting off all supplies in a brutal blockade that lasted over 2 years. Inside, Jerusalem, swollen with refugees from surrounding areas, became a trap. Food stockpiles vanished quickly. Water from springs like Gihon grew scarce and tainted. The Bible's Book of Lamentations paints a vivid picture. Children begging for bread that never came, their tongues sticking to the roofs of their mouths from thirst. The once prosperous elite scavenged in filth, their faces blackened by hunger.
As months dragged into years, famine gripped the city like a vice. A brief hope flickered when Egyptian allies advanced, forcing the Babylonians to lift the siege temporarily. But the relief was short-lived. The Egyptians retreated and the noose tightened again. Starvation wasn't just physical. It eroded the soul of the city. People wasted away, their bodies frail and minds fractured. Biblical accounts describe how those killed by the sword were luckier than the starving, who lingered in agony, pierced by the pangs of endless hunger.
But the true horror? Whispers of acts so desperate they defy comprehension. In the depths of this famine, some turned to the unthinkable, cannibalism. The prophet Jeremiah had forewarned of it as divine judgment, and Lamentations echoes the tragedy. The hands of compassionate women have boiled their own children. They became their food during the destruction of the daughter of my people. Was this literal, or poetic exaggeration to convey moral collapse? Historians debate, but similar horrors are recorded in later sieges, like Jerusalem's fall in AD 70, where famine drove people to madness. In 587 BC, with no escape and no mercy, it's plausible that survival instincts overrode humanity itself, turning families against their own in a descent into primal chaos.
Disease compounded the misery. Crowded into a filthy, weakened state, residents likely battled outbreaks of dysentery, typhus, or worse, bodies piling up unburied, breeding more sickness. Social order shattered. Betrayals ran rampant, with divided leaders imprisoning prophets like Jeremiah for urging surrender. Violence erupted internally as hunger fueled fights over scraps. Refugees fled when they could, scattering to neighboring lands, but for those trapped, it was a slow unraveling of society.
Finally, in July 587 BC, the walls breached. Zedekiah fled through the night with his sons and guards. But Babylonian pursuers caught them near Jericho. Dragged before Nebuchadnezzar at Riblah, Zedekiah endured a personal hell. His sons slaughtered before his eyes. A final vision of loss before his own eyes were gouged out. Bound in chains, he was hauled to Babylon, dying in prison. A broken symbol of Judah's fall. The city was torched, Solomon's temple reduced to rubble, and thousands exiled in the Babylonian captivity, forever altering Jewish history.
What portals does this open for us today? A gateway to understanding how empires crush spirits, how desperation warps the human condition, and perhaps a mirror to modern conflicts where sieges still echo these ancient atrocities. If this gripped you, like, subscribe, and share your thoughts below. What other historical horrors should we explore next?